I'm stunned. I did not expect to see this whenever I woke up today, this report here coming out, but Call of Duty might be bringing back one of the things people have asked for the loudest in the last couple of years, and perhaps sooner than we may think. Today we're breaking down this weird and interesting report, kind of exciting depending on who you're asking maybe, about the future of Warzone and what you can expect here out of it. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you like the sound of this report? Do you like the sound of this returning fan favorite map? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it out insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and everything going into COD 2024 now. But anyways, today we're talking about the return of Verdansk. This information comes from Tom Henderson and Insider Gaming, also reported and corroborated by Charlie Intel. All sources who are credible have their track records almost in impeccable standing at this point, but it was reported breaking Verdansk reportedly will be the big map for Call of Duty Warzone with Treyarch's Call of Duty 2024 game. Insider Gaming reported this information citing their sources, and we've also heard similar information. Verdansk will return. The original report by Tom ended up just simply being exclusive original Call of Duty Warzone map Verdansk is set to return in 2024, where Insider Gaming has learned that Warzone's original map Verdansk is going to be here by the end of 2024. While details are still unclear on the exact release date of the map, it's understood that the current plan is to follow the traditional Warzone main map release schedule and have Verdansk return as a part of the Black Ops Gulf War Season 1. If Call of Duty continues its annual trend of a late October, early November release, it suggests that Verdansk will return in December of 2024. Fans will be familiar that Verdansk has seen several changes to its map since its original release, generally seeing major changes during its air quote seasons of content. Due to ongoing development, it's unclear which season the map will be based on. One source implied that it will be a fan favorite season, but the exact details are murky. So first and foremost, wow. Like, I can't believe they're doing this. I mean, I can, but like, after so long of people asking for it, is this real life? Like, is this actually happening? It sure sounds like it, but beyond that, I'm very curious what the fan favorite season it's based on will be, because if we're going in canon, it should in theory follow up the Cold War's 80 aesthetic, and that's sort of the baseline here for this. We obviously shouldn't see it be modern day Verdansk, but instead something similar to what we had in Cold War. So you can maybe narrow that down a bit, but maybe something with a new variation built on top of that for early 90s. Maybe something that deviates slightly with the soccer stadium being built up, whereas it wasn't in the Cold War version of Verdansk. Maybe the fissures from Season 6 still have remnants. Maybe there's still a collapsed building or two in downtown, but for the most part, I mean, that's going to be cool for a lot of people. So many people were asking for this for so long for it to return. Obviously, it's one of those things that we might get there and it's just like, well, great, it's not new. I already know how to play this. Give me something new. And that's just kind of the cycle of how all this stuff works. I remember very, very distinctly when Verdansk 84 came out, everybody was like, the hell is this? It's not new. They said it was going to be a new map. And so like, that's probably something we're going to see happen later on down the line here, later next year. But I mean, there's a lot of questions for how this could be handled still, but the general premise of it returning is seemingly now out in the open. And again, from credible sources. That's the biggest thing. Charlie Intel doesn't tweet about something unless he knows it's something that he can corroborate, something that he knows ends up having validity to him. I know the guy personally. He's not something that just tweets out stuff that's just made up nonsense. And then Tom, his record has been impeccable the last couple of years here with a lot of breaking stories, especially in COD, but also just elsewhere now at this point. He is getting to that point where sure, COD has some cool things to leak for him, but he doesn't really care all that much. So why would he present misinformation at that point? So it's interesting to consider that this is finally now going to be happening. But honestly, I'm not all that surprised. I mean, people have wanted Verdansk back for a long time now at this point. But also, the biggest thing to me is that while people can scream into the void about that kind of stuff, COD has not been an industry leader for a while now. They've been way more conservative in terms of the decisions they make in terms of settings for a game, gameplay mechanics for a game, content for a game. It's just one of those things that they don't take the sort of leaps of faith that you may have considered they did way back in the day with COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. Those sort of air quote golden era games of COD, they were the industry leader, I would say, in terms of the FPS. Right up there neck and neck with Battlefield, those two leading the charge here and how the industry was handled. not so much anymore. They kind of like to take a step back and look at the market and see what does well, see that they cannot fail if they end up implementing something, either a business model, a content idea, something like that, and then replicating it, and they're a couple of years down the line. It's one of those things that I almost kind of equate it to like Apple versus, say, Android. Android, as somebody who has an Apple phone, it is something that I know for a fact my stuff is inferior tech, but Apple knows they can't fail. They're too big to fail, so they implement stuff a little later whenever they see that it's guaranteed to work for them. That's kind of the same thing here with COD, I would say. So the example to give is Fortnite returning back to its original map here at this. That did record-breaking numbers in 2023. That peak of Fortnite a couple of years ago when like it was just insane levels of hype, that was broken. Even if you didn't pay attention to it, that was broken in 2023. That launched in 2017. So Fortnite is in year 6 of its game, and it had its newest peak this year. So very clearly that is something that does work. Now, I guarantee Activision ended up seeing that and they're like, oh, we could do that again too. So I'm not surprised, but it is interesting to see that after all this time, finally, it is going to be coming back. And what I find most curious about 2024, at least the sort of year leading up to this here at this point, is that we have seen this kind of in the year of fan service almost already. I mean, Modern Warfare 3, the changes here made were, I've said it before, it's of course not because of me, but everything that we saw changed was something that I pitched Infinity Ward and anyone who had listened about it back before Modern Warfare 2 was even revealed. So like community feedback, community ideas here for what the gameplay should feel like, that kind of stuff was implemented here with this game in Modern Warfare 3. We're seeing Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island come back here in early 2024 and shortly thereafter. Maybe Q1 and Q2 release, something like a Season 2 and Season 3 release perhaps at that point, and then Verdansk, all of that's returning in 2024. So talk about fan service here at that point. I will say that I am incredibly stoked at the prospect of playing Warzone on Verdansk with all the quality of life changes we have now. Zip lines, redeploy balloons, lootable perks or perk packages, second chance mechanics like the flares and such. All that kind of stuff. I'm very excited to see the progression of Warzone now put back onto this sort of classic map that we're going to be all familiar with. And that'll be something that I think could very much so make the gameplay very differently. But I'm all for it, man. I say bring it on. Verdansk, of course, if it is going to be coming back, won't be until later next year, but still, it's a cool thing to look forward to. So for that is where we're going to wrap it up. That's everything you really need to know about the situation at the moment. But just keep an eye out because that may be something that gets confirmed. Probably not soon, but like in the grand scheme of things, a couple of months still is kind of soon. But anyways, that's where we're at with this. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like the thought and prospect of Verdansk returning here later next year with the Black Ops Cold War integration for Warzone? Not so much. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing running all things Modern Warfare 3, COD 2024, and Warzone as we push into 2024 and what it may hold for all of us. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.